Are you planning to move to Australia or study there in 2025? You'll want to hear this. Major changes are on the horizon for Australia's immigration policies, and if you're not aware of them, you could be in for a surprise. With new visa restrictions and updates just around the corner, the rules that once made it easier to live and study in Australia are about to shift. Will you be able to navigate these new limitations? What does this mean for your future in Australia? In today's video, we're diving deep into the Australia visa limitations for immigrants and students in 2025, breaking down the latest updates you absolutely cannot afford to miss. We'll uncover everything from visa processing delays to new eligibility requirements that could impact your chances of success. Are you ready for the tough competition? With these new changes, Australia is getting stricter about who they let in and how they let them in. Whether you're applying for a work visa or hoping to study at one of Australia's top universities, the clock is ticking. And here's the kicker: not all visa categories are going to be affected the same way. Some might even be eliminated entirely, while others are becoming more competitive than ever before. If you don't get your application right, you might miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We'll be showing you exactly which visa programs are going to be hit hardest and what strategies you need to stay ahead of the game. If you're serious about making it to Australia in 2025, now is the time to act. Don't let these new restrictions catch you off guard. You need this information to make informed decisions, and we're here to guide you through every single change. So, if you want to stay one step ahead of the game and ensure you don't get left behind, make sure to like this video right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss the crucial details we're about to reveal. Time is running out. Alright, if you've made it this far, you're already ahead of the game, because today we're diving into something critical for anyone planning to live or study in Australia in 2025. If you've been following Australia's visa updates over the past few years, you probably already know that things have been changing rapidly. But let me tell you, 2025 is going to be a pivotal year, and those updates? They're bigger and more impactful than ever before. Now, before you start panicking, I want to remind you that staying informed is your best weapon here. The visa system in Australia has always been one of the most sought after in the world, but as the demand for visas increases, the country is tightening the rules to prioritize the most skilled workers and the most competitive students. Whether you're planning to get a permanent residency visa or head to one of Australia's top universities, knowing the upcoming restrictions is essential if you want to stay ahead of the game. So, what's actually changing? And why should you be paying extra attention if you've got plans for 2025? Well, it's a combination of several factors coming into play, and in this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know. Let's break this down. This isn't just a new regulation here or there, this is a full shift in how Australia will handle immigration and student visas moving forward. And if you don't take the time to adjust your plans, you could be left behind. One of the most significant changes we're seeing is a tighter control over the skilled migration program. For years, Australia has opened its doors to workers from various industries, from healthcare professionals to engineers, tech experts, and more. But with an increased focus on economic recovery and national priorities, the government is now shifting its focus towards specific industries. This means that if you're a skilled worker who doesn't fall into one of these targeted fields, your chances of getting a visa in 2025 just got a whole lot slimmer. The competition is about to heat up, and unless your skills align perfectly with the sectors Australia is prioritizing, you'll need to re-evaluate your strategy. For example, healthcare workers, tech experts, and renewable energy professionals are in high demand. If you work in one of those industries, you're in luck. But if you're a professional in an area that's not seen as a national priority, you may face additional challenges. What does this mean for you? Well, it's simple: the door is still open, but it's going to be harder to walk through. The government has made it clear that they'll be investing heavily in certain fields and closing the door on others. If you're applying for a skilled visa, you need to make sure that your qualifications line up with what Australia needs now more than ever. On the flip side, if you're a student planning to study in Australia in 2025, brace yourself. With the student visa system evolving, you're going to see stricter entry requirements for international students. This includes more rigid requirements for English language proficiency, academic qualifications, and financial proof. While Australia's universities remain some of the most prestigious in the world, they're also becoming pickier about who they admit, and the competition is about to get fierce. The days of simply meeting the minimum visa requirements may be over. In 2025, it's about standing out. And it's not just the academic qualifications that have changed, we're talking about post-graduation opportunities as well. Australia has historically offered attractive post-study work options for international students, giving them the chance to gain work experience and perhaps transition into a more permanent visa. But in 2025, expect these opportunities to be more restrictive. Post-study work visas will likely require students to meet new, higher standards in terms of both education and career outcomes. The Australian government is prioritising graduates who can contribute to specific sectors, and those who aren't aligned with these sectors might find themselves struggling to stay in the country after their studies are over. Now, I know this sounds intense, but here's the thing, it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, there are tougher restrictions, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to succeed. In fact, the key to making it through the new visa landscape is planning ahead. If you know where you stand in terms of qualifications, skills, and goals, then you'll have a much clearer path forward. Whether you're an aspiring immigrant or a student, now is the time to start preparing for 2025 and beyond. Let's talk about what this means for you practically. If you're someone who has been eyeing a permanent residency visa, now more than ever, your experience needs to align with Australia's long-term needs. Employers in Australia will be looking for workers who have not only the technical skills but also a track record of success in critical industries. For example, if you're a nurse or a tech developer, now might be a good time to further specialize in a niche area within those fields, like oncology for nurses or artificial intelligence for tech professionals. Get ahead of the curve by focusing on the sectors that are in highest demand. For students, the rules are just as critical. If you're planning to study in Australia, don't just focus on your degree. Start building a network, get involved in internships, and make sure your career goals align with the sectors the government is prioritizing. That's your best shot at a post-graduation visa or even transitioning into permanent residency. If you're watching this, you've already made the right decision by staying ahead of the changes. But the real question now is, what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to act, or are you going to wait until it's too late? The fact is, the timeline is short, and the changes coming in 2025 are already being implemented. The window of opportunity is closing, and only those who prepare now will have the best shot at securing their future in Australia. If you've got plans to migrate or study there, now is the time to make sure your application is solid and tailored to the new rules. So here's the deal, if you want to stay updated with all of the latest changes, strategies, and insider tips for securing your visa in 2025, make sure to like this video right now. By liking and subscribing, you're taking the first step in staying ahead of the competition. The clock is ticking, and in just a few months, these updates will start to affect everyone. You don't want to be the one caught off guard, so take action now and get the information you need to make your dreams of living or studying in Australia a reality. Like, subscribe, and get ready, 2025 is right around the corner, and the countdown has begun.